For some reason, back in the 90s, GM decided that it'd be a fantastic idea to try stuffing a circle into a square hole. Don't riddle me as to why they thought it made sense. They claimed it was for aerodynamics, but I'm pretty sure a cow is more aerodynamic than those damn square wheel wells. And when that circle is larger because you want to flex on the Honda boys at the Walmart meet, well, that square hole is going to be bent and broken real quick. That's right. Today, we're going big and going over the biggest, best fits for your 99 to 06 Chevy 1500, aka GMT 800 chassis, or your cat eyes, or your round eyes. And I guess it also apply to your GMCs as well. Just kind of keep in mind that the bumpers between the two are obviously different. So trimming on one bumper is going to be a little different than trimming on the other bumper. It's not going to be the same amount of trimming, but the rear fender NorCal mod on both will still apply. What's the NorCal mod, you say? I'm glad you asked. The NorCal mod is the major metal trimming required on most GM trucks to tuck back a portion of the fender and allow you to turn your wheel completely or almost completely and actually be able to get around in a parking lot. It started in Cali, clearly, as dudes out west wanted to go bigger and wider but didn't have large enough lift kits to make up for the fact that the wheel wells were the shape of a goddamn trapezoid. So what did they do? They decided their best move was to cut the shit out of their truck, smash the back corner of the fender, and allow about like 3 inches more room for turning. It worked out, and soon us Whisker boys up here in the frozen tundra are hearing about it and posting videos years ago about putting 12 wides on a basic leveling kit. Yes, you heard that right. On your 99 to 06 Chevy or GMC, round eye, cat eye, you get the idea. Leveling kits, you can fit 12 wides and 33s with a full NorCal. Now, if you don't know exactly what a NorCal mod is, even though I literally just explained it, we have plenty of videos that you can check out by going to youtube.com/custom offsets, typing in NorCal mod, and finding exactly how to do it for your body style. Now, you're gonna be cutting your truck. Like I said, there's fender smashing and cutting, and then bumper plastic cutting and trimming, and then metal cutting and shaving. It's kind of fun to do when it's not your vehicle, or kind of fun to watch when it's also not your vehicle, hence why I just let Banker do it in the back shop, and then I come out there and say, cool, it doesn't rub, I'm not gonna look at what it took to get there. But on your 9906s, on a leveling kit, yeah, 12 wides and 33s are gonna fit with a full NorCal. Now, some people have had to move their windshield wiper bottle thing for your fluid, you know, when you spray the windshield wiper, yeah, that, because it kind of sits right where the tire could be. So if you're running a knobby tire, could grab at that if you're running an MT or maybe even an RT. ATs and street tires should fit, however, might be something to consider. Now, if you're not looking to go quite as wild, which we're always gonna push the limits, we're always gonna tell you what the widest, most aggressive setups are, you can come back a little bit with minor trimming and fit 9 wides and 33s on your level 99 to 06. So now jumping up from your leveling kit to a 4-inch lift kit, if you're looking to go all out, do the full NorCal mod like we not necessarily recommend, but would probably do if it was our truck. On a 4-inch lift kit, you can fit 10 wides and 35s with that full NorCal. Now, a lot of other trucks, you don't necessarily have the NorCal just because of the way all body styles are designed, right? Each truck chassis is designed differently. Toyotas have a giant body mount right there, so you can't do any of the same stuff you can do on the Chevys. So with these Chevys with the notorious square wheel wells, there is a little bit more you can do to fit a lot of the same setups that you can on your Fords and your Dodges. You just have to do a little bit more work to get there. So 4-inch lift kit, 10 wides, 35s, full NorCal. Now, if you want to go with a little bit different setup that's not going to rub quite as much, you could go with a 4-inch lift kit, 12 wides and 33s. Yeah, so you're going wider, right? 4-inch lift kit instead of 10 wides and 35s, which means a full NorCal. You've got 12 wides and 33s. So you're wider, but you're also shorter. So the reason the NorCal mod works the way it does is because when you cut and bash back that fender, you're opening up a lot of space that the corner of the tire will grab at. So doing a smaller tire diameters, you actually have less area reaching into those corners specifically that your tire turns through with your radius, because obviously you're not turning at, yeah, I'm not gonna go into that depth. Like I said, full NorCal, you're looking at 10 wides and 35s. Minimal trimming, you're looking at 12 wides and 33s. If you're wondering where we get all this information from, we have a beautiful gallery with over 100,000 custom trucks at customoffsets.com/gallery that you can check out, find a setup you like, match it to your truck, and see what they did for wheels, tires, and suspension specs, and also how much trimming was needed to achieve that look. And then you can apply that to your truck. Now, getting into the 6-inch lift kits, these are probably the most popular for your GM 99 to 06 07 Classic body style. 6-inch lift, 14 wides, the thing everyone wants to run right now, 14 wides and 35s. What's it gonna take to get there? A full NorCal, you already guessed it. So full NorCal, smashing back that fender, cutting a couple inches off the front of the bumper, 14 wides and 35s will fit. However, if you don't want to do that much cutting or you want a little bit of a different look for it, you can go with 10 wides and 35s also. Now, 35s either way are gonna work, but if you want the 14 wide look versus the 10 wide look, you're gonna have a full NorCal going on. If you wanna go right in the middle and go to a 12 wide, you might have a little bit of a NorCal going on. Not quite as much as a full 14 wide would need, but not as little as a 10 wide would need either. Last up on our list for lift kit sizes is 9-inch lift kits. Now this could be an 8.5, it could be a 9, it could be a 6-inch with a 3-inch body, although I'm not gonna recommend a body lift. It's something easy to do if you have a 6-inch lift kit to go bigger, so throw that 3-inch on top of it. But if you're at 9 inches of suspension lift and you wanna run the biggest setup possible with a full NorCal, you can do 14 wides and 38s. Now that's gonna be a big It's gonna require full NorCal like we've been talking about. You already know, I've been explaining it like 4 times now. But with the 14 wides and 38s, you're gonna have a really solid setup on your 1500. Now, if you don't wanna do that much trimming and you still have 9 inches of lift, or you wanna go with 9 inches of lift, 12 wides and 37s are another great option with minimal trimming. Now, 37s compared to 38s, sure, that's an inch difference. So looking at minimal trimming versus a full NorCal, there's not really much there. But going from that 12 to 14 wide, you have a lot more of the tire sticking out. You're looking at a lot more stance, and the further out you go, obviously the more you're gonna need to trim. If you go too far out, you'll be rubbing on the outside of the fender, which you can't really fix. To an extent, you can kind of go as wide as you want to and just keep doing as much trimming as you want to until you get to a point where it's literally just gonna rub on the outside of the fender because you're too wide. And at that point, you win Instagram. You win it. It's yours. Congrats. But that's what I got for you guys on this episode of trying to figure out what the hell fits your 99 to 06 GM truck. Silverados, Sierras, all 1500s. There you have it. Leveling kit, 4-inch lift, 6-inch lift, and 9-inch lift. If you guys want to learn more about what fits your truck, like I said, we have our whole gallery, customhouses.com/gallery, with wheel specs, tire specs, suspension specs, trimming specs, lots of specs, everything you need to know to build your truck. So we got for you guys. Peace.